Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Testing, 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 testing. Hello, hello. Okay, wait. Sorry. Let me be right back, guys. Let me be right back. All right. So, hold on. Let's check some things. Let's check the stream. Sorry. I ran to get my headphones, or to get something rather, and now we gotta check if the stream actually working. Um, says that it is. It is. And everyone talking about my prediction. All right, let's wait. Oh my God, I'm so tired. Whew, it has been a while since I have streamed. It has been a long, long time. It has been a long, long time. A very long time since I streamed. All right, hello guys. Welcome to the stream. If you haven't watched my most recent video already, I suggest you do, because you're gonna miss out on some key information that I'm gonna talk about today. So, first off, color predictions, right? I made a video recently. Let me actually pull it up right now. I made a video recently about my color predictions. Everyone knows this. I did say I was going to make a video about my color predictions, and I did. Now, wait, let me just get it just to show. If you haven't already seen it, I suggest you do, because a lot of context is necessary. I was going to make a video. I just got to make sure my audio is here. A lot of context is necessary to understanding what I'm about to talk about. Because I'm not really going to go over my predictions already, because I went over them in this video. So yeah, there's this video. If you haven't already watched it, watch it. If you have, well, good for you, I guess. But yeah, this kind of goes over a lot of things. It goes over each group, what I think are the realistic predictions, and then my own predictions right after. So you can go follow the realistic predictions, which for Group A, I think it was like from top to bottom, it was RC, TE, Weibo Gaming, DFM, and then AR. For Group B, it was like Wolves, GR, Axis, GG, and X Team. And then for Group C, it was like I think it was like ACT, Fanal, ZQ. Then it was PRR, Omni. And then for the Group D, it was Zeta, MRC, B4U, LX, and what was the fifth team? RT. Yeah, RT. So, yeah, if you haven't watched this video, I suggest you do, because we're gonna go over a bunch of things. So first off, the title says, I lied. Why? 'Cause I lied. The recording was, I think, made 5 days ago. So April 5th. I was kind of sick and busy with other personal things Yeah, it was. No, it was actually April 2nd. Oh, wait, April 4th rather. So even way before, or April 3rd. So it was like way like a week ago. I made these predictions a week ago, and you actually see that when I talk about my own predictions for Group B. The issue, however, is that I lied because right after I finished making the video, I actually made a bunch of changes to my predictions. So the first one actually is funnily enough LX, and I'm gonna go over this one a bit. This one's the easiest one. This is the part of the video that got cut off. Basically, when I was editing the video, while I was editing the video, I was like, yeah, Alex isn't gonna beat B4U. But then in my head, I'm like, God, it would be really, really interesting if Alex beats B4U though. And so I actually ended up changing my predictions to be LX. The reason I didn't put this in the video is because I don't really have a great logical reason for LX winning against B4U. The main one is just, oh, Korai is one of the most underrated hunters. But that's honestly not sufficient enough. So this truthfully is more vibes than it is an actual like comprehensive analytical prediction from me. So yeah, LX I did predict over B4U. I also do have a bunch of other things. Like the main thing that I think is interesting is that Alex is a really hard team to prep because they clearly do not follow the conventions of meta. Um, this kind of makes Alex pretty difficult to predict, and I think especially with a team like B4U, no more Skyfall, under coach, it's going to be a lot harder to really understand the BP choices from Alex. I think the no rescuer comp at some point against B4U is going to work because B4U, I don't think really has a way to exploit the fact that they may not run a rescuer in the first place. The only really way I've seen it is like Hullabaloo, I guess, and then also like Bonbon or like the Camp Hunters. But there's 18-second Hulla, and then the Camp Hunters. I mean, I don't think Spencer has much. I guess Wax Artist if you count him as a Camp Hunter. But yeah, I was like, you know what? Like, it's very, very unlikely. So unlikely. Like, this is the reason why I didn't put it in the video. But I am holding on to this. Alex is gonna be winning up against B4U. All right. I can see it, in my opinion. Now, the other thing that I will also talk about is these two. So, this is the one that is the funniest in the sense that it was funny because I knew that I was going to make this change. I just didn't know if I was going to put it in the video. And so, Axis first was okay. To first give some context, Group B for me was the hardest to predict. I remember. Oh, hello, Orfeo. Um, but going back, I remember one of my first crazy Group B predictions was like GG third because GG always makes playoffs, and then I was like, I just hate GG too much to put them in playoffs. Okay, so I decided not to put them in playoffs. And then there was a prediction where it's still like Wolves wins and then Axis and GR third. And I was like, okay, maybe that's good. And then I eventually settled for like GR Wolves Axis on the video and then X Team GG. But then when I uploaded the video, I forgot whose prediction it was. I saw a prediction of someone putting Axis first, and I think they make a really good point that Axis's hunters are just really, really good. um, and that ISIS survivors are probably better than GR right now. Which, debatable stuff, but I do agree with the truth that Axis right now is a really, like, they just have two of the best hunters. I feel like after my Group C prediction, because I put Fennel first at Group C, but after my Group C prediction putting Fennel first, it just feels weird not to put Axis first for the same reason. Because the reasoning I have, and I also put this in a video, which by the way, again, if you haven't watched the video, watch it. It's right here. These are my predictions, guys. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about my other predictions. I'm going to talk about the two that I changed from the video. But going back, if we go to my Group C predictions, and I'll just literally get it here, because it's right here.
top level team
Oh, I
that
don't
can
need.
make top four.
Oh, I don't need to hear myself. But if you look at my Group C predictions, I did put Fennel at first, and there's a good reason for this. Fennel has a good system, and I explained this very in depth. Fennel has the machinations and the potential to be a top level team. The issue is that their survivors are inconsistent. That is the reasoning I use for Fennel. But for some reason, and this is what was really like tripping me up. Axis was a team that had the same level, if not better. Actually, I will make the case that they're better than Fennel. But I put them at third during the video, and I knew that at some point I was gonna change that. Cause, yeah, I mean, Axis at third doesn't sit right with me. This team is solid. I mean, the issue is just Mono P. But even with Mono P, I'm pretty sure Mono P was with RC and Koa 7. Am I tripping? Like, this guy is not too bad. Like, he's not like the worst player. Like, he's not super bad. Like I make it sound like he is an absolute liability. And when compared to Zero, yeah, I'm like, when I thought about it after the video upload, and I already been thinking about it, I was like, yeah, I don't know how I'm not gonna put Axis at first. It just doesn't make sense. And so Axis at first, GR second, Wolves third. Yeah, I made another change to my predictions. I will officially keep this. This is officially my predictions. So my Group A predictions, I'm gonna mute this so I don't have to hear myself again. So my Group A predictions are, oh, so funny that BFM was listed first here. That was an editing error. Here we go. My Group A predictions are RC, TE, BFM, Label Gaming, and AR. My Group B predictions, I think, are right here. Sorry, that's Group C. My Group C predictions are FL, FU, ZQ, ACT, PRR, and Omni. My Group B predictions, Axis, GR, Wolves, XT, GG. And then my Group D predictions are Zeta, MRC, LX, B4U, and RT. I'm keeping this. I'm not changing this anymore. Officially locked. Locked here right now, 100%. This is my predictions. Now, I still think that you should watch the video. The video goes a lot more in depth with why I predicted certain, things in that prediction. So that's why I went with that. But yeah, I mean, I redid my predictions again. This is now, I think, the fifth time I've redone my predictions. Absolutely hilarious. Of course, Lucas the B4U Blazer comes in and is surprised that I put B4U at fourth. I'm actually gonna go ahead. Let's talk about, you know what, cause I saw one that's very interesting. Okay, I'll start first with the things I found interesting. So I'll start first with, cause I'm gonna use this video instead. I'll start first with Group C. Okay. And we all know X Team is beating everyone in Group B. Who said that? Who said that? Ah, sorry, but going back, let's go back here. Let's start first with Group C, because Group C is an interesting one. I am not just like I am absolutely distraught, kind of pissed. Not really pissed. I don't know how to say it. Tomorrow streams redoing the predictions tomorrow again. But yeah, sorry, Group C. I'll start with this. I'm not changing my predictions, guys. This is my predictions, straight up, confirmed. So the one thing that really pissed me off a bit was the amount of people still putting Omni at fourth. Okay, and to put it very plainly with you, it's not even about the controversy. At this point, I've kind of made peace, I guess. I don't really know what's the term, but like I've kind of moved past the controversy. I give Omni players second chance, whatever. I don't really care anymore. Like like Omni. the drama is just disappointing, but at this point, I'm like so like tired of it. It's been so long since it's happened anyways, right? But Omni, bro, how are you telling me? Who is telling me in this world half of an any EU team can beat the best Korean team? Who genuinely, how do you make a prediction like that? How can you need to justify it? Which, by the way, the answer is you really can't because it's so stupid. It's so okay. First off, tell me, because let's talk about Omni and let's talk about PRR. Okay, first off, tell me how does a team with no coach, with 5 players, prepare against 3 different hunters, with one of their hunter players in their team being a survivor? Who who is who are they? How are they gonna prep against 3 different hunters when they don't even have a coach and they don't even have one of their survivors? They had to bring flippin' their hunter to play a survivor role. How does Omni beat PRR? You're telling me PRR is gonna get out prepped? They're 3 hunters against a team without a coach? You guys have to be joking. You guys like have to be out of your mind. And real talk, Fluff and Lays, who are the very controversial people, let's put that aside for a sec. They were the 2 best players of this team, and now they're gone. And people still think Omni's gonna beat PRR. How? Like, this is not about the drama anymore. Okay, this entire analysis, because this was like I was going through everyone like different predictions. I was going through the caster predictions, and bro, every time I saw Omni at fourth, it pisses me off because there is no good reason to put them at fourth. I don't care if this backfires on my ass, bro. I don't care if Omni does end up winning at PRR. Shoot me, bro. I don't care, bro. But it makes no sense. Okay? You can't just say Pit Stoppers, because Pit Stoppers is not like Spencer, bro. He is not him anymore, bro. There is a reason why they got another hunter in the team of Omni. There is a good reason. Okay, there is a good reason why Omni had a second hunter now. Pit Stoppers, in no offense whatsoever, he hasn't been keeping up as well with the meta. Not as good as their second hunter is. Who, by the way, I literally forgot who their second hunter is at this. Like, I literally forgot their name. But yeah, like, so like, Pit Stoppers is not like Spencer where he's gonna 4K every time. No. No fucking way. Not against PQQ. Repa, not against Repa, bro. If PRR could beat PQQ with Repa, bro, this team with Sebum as well. Sorry, Sebum as well was in the team. Yeah, bro. Tell me how the hell PRR is gonna lose to Omni. You're telling me all 3 of their hunters are gonna get prepped by Omni without a coach. Bro, let's be real, guys. This isn't even about a controversy. I don't care what you think about Omni. If you think Omni deserves forgiveness, whatever. Don't ask me for moral advice. I'm not here to give you like whether I think Omni deserves to be here or not. I don't care anymore. Like I've just stopped, bro. Like it's because it's tiring, low key. But like at the same time, bro, whatever people say Omni's gonna win, it pisses me off to the core because it's just you need to have a logical explanation for it, right? So that was the main thing pissing me off in Group C. And then Fennel, ZQ, ACT. I'll get to X team in a bit, but Fennel, ZQ, ACT. I kind of just arranged it with which team do I think was most likely to be a really good team if they actually play well. The one thing I would say is that I think I should have put CQ as first on my realistic predictions. Um, the thing that I was kind of miscalculating or misjudging from ZQ's consistency is because after they lost to GG, the team was consistent. It was just like that one game, and to be fair, Sans was just coming back. So like, yeah, I was kind of wrong in that. Like, I felt like I could have put ZQ higher, but I'm pretty content with my prediction about ZQ right now. I'm pretty content putting them at second. I'm pretty content keeping them at second. I'm content taking Fennel, my OGs at first. So there's that, and ACT at third. I used to like ACT. Now I'm just like, it's whatever. Yeah, ACT third place as well. I'm pretty content with these predictions. I think you can really mix and shuffle the top one to top three teams any way you want. It's not really that, you know, it's not really too much of an issue. I think as long as you put PR fourth and Omni fifth, we should be fine. Omni really shouldn't be winning against PRR, and I think right if Omni wins against PRR, bro, they just gotta remove Korea in Koa at this point, because like what are you doing losing to half an NAE team? You lost to point 0.5 of an NAE. Like that has to be embarrassing. Like just give the free flight to the commentators. The commentators in Korea are fire, bro. If that happens. But PRR should be able to win against Omni with relative ease. Just not only is it like, half of Omni's team, but preparing against PRR with no coach sounds like a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. Anyways, where else was I? Let's talk about X Team. X Team was interesting. I watched X Team's games again. At the very end of the qualification run, this team looked a little bit better. To be fair, they kind of qualified, and I still keep by this. They qualified in a very weird way. Um, X Team basically won against Zoo, but Zoo was absolutely flopping, and we saw it even worse against the match between GG. But the team had a lot of potential. Yum is clearly, and in my opinion, just clearly the better hunter. Um, he looks really solid. He just does. The survivors are weird. I don't really like the survivors either, as literally stated by the video. This entire team is the definition of inconsistency. But I am pretty confident that Yum can perform well. Um, the issue isn't really that. The issue is the other two teams they're having to win against. I mean, you're gonna have to make a really good argument that somehow X Team survivors are gonna win against the Axis core of Kakari Kahaka and then beat Jin, the greatest hunter of all time. Or maybe not of all time, but like the greatest hunter today. Like, tough challenge. Like, you can make an argument that Wolves might lose to X Team, um, but like X Team probably isn't winning against Axis GR. It's so much more likely for Jin to last longer for King against X Team. Axis, especially with two different hunters, to just basically last long at 4K X Team, even if Yum pulls out some insane games, pulls out Wu Cheng, bro thinks he's TZYM, but he's actually better than him, so honestly, don't stop. But like, Ace Team, I mean, they are a team. That's for sure. I mean, we can truly see what the Doyen dances from YN can do, you know. Another thing is that Wolves is an interesting team. I initially really, 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 I mean, just really thought Wolves was a lock for first place. I was super confident in this for a long, long time, and then I really thought about it, and there's just a very big issue that Wolves' character really sucks. And more specifically, Wolves harass without 487, very controversial figure, Mr. Dual Personalities. Without him, it is not that good. Um, this team is going to struggle a bit in terms of the character pools. I feel like when the survivors of this team needs to win, which is very possible in something like the third round. I don't know how Wolves is going to do that. And that's why I'm like, yeah, I mean, they're a good team. They're a consistent team. It's just they're consistently average. That's how I feel about Wolves right now. But yeah, Wolves should be a decent team, especially if Tien had gotten more harassers. Like if Tien got more harassers, this team will go from third to first. But for as long as Tien does not have like proficiency in all of it, Wolves stays at third. That's just my thoughts. Though they did have, I think, 4 months to prepare. So they did have a lot of prep time. So I think the Wolves will be seeing is a whole lot more different. I'm gonna then talk about Group A. So Group A, my predictions here. Here we go. DFM Weibo Gaming. A lot of people are really low on DFM, and I'll explain this, and it's also why I have a really natural lean towards uh the Japanese teams. There we go. The Japanese teams. And I'll explain it in a way that's a bit easy to understand. Okay. Here's the thing with Japanese teams. Japanese teams have something that Chinese teams lack. A good peddler man. Chinese teams lack a good peddler man. Like real talk. Some of them are okay, but most of them are pretty Thai peddlers. Like the type of peddlers that isn't really gonna win a lot of matches. I probably should just keep it here. But the reason I bring this up is because I want you to imagine and paint a scenario. Uh, for example, with DFM. Let's say DFM plays against TE right now. At the first round, what do you think TE should be prepping for? The Qist or the Peddler? Now, to be fair, both have very compelling arguments. First off, you could prep against the Qist because Qist was, well, the better character. He's a character that's gonna win maybe more matches. He's the character that, could be really, really difficult, especially if you have a weak composition against it. Or yada yada yada. He's just really good, especially smaller maps. You're just gonna have cipher string scenarios. You're not gonna be able to decode. This is pre-nerf QS. There's so many reasons, but the difference is that QS is very much played in China as well. Therefore, there's much more prep to face, like to play against a QS. Or would you rather prep against the peddler? Would you rather make a composition that's anti-peddler? Um, where, you don't have as much prep against a peddler, you don't have as much good players or good peddler players in China. Peddler has one of the worst win rates in China right now. But then you're gonna go ahead and face against the best peddler main in DFM, and then maybe if you go to like a Fennel or something that's like the second best, maybe even other teams, other Japanese teams, you're still gonna be facing a really good peddler main. And you can't counter both because a lot of the overlaps between the strongest characters for against Peddler and the strongest characters against QS are kind of counter each other. For example, a good character against Peddler is typically Meteorologist, but Meteorologist is super weak against QS. And if you try to go with more harassers, who try to go early with like double harassers or something of the sort, well, then the issue becomes that first off, they can actually Ivy, which to be fair, I'm not sure if DFM MZK has, but the second point is now you lose 2 harassers at first round, which isn't going to be great, especially if you don't end up winning that game. And so I just feel like the reason why I think Japanese teams are so much more well equipped is because the region has a much more diverse set of characters, a much more diverse set of preparations. Whereas in China, you're kind of gonna struggle to prep against the peddler. You're gonna kind of struggle to prep against certain other characters. I don't think that's the same case for Japan, and I think that the teams, especially DFM and FNL, who do have peddler and QS as their round one characters, are really going to take a lot of advantage from the fact that Peddler is really good round one against a QS counter comp. And again, Chinese teams, they don't have a lot of prep. against Peddler, and that's because there's not a lot of good peddlers in China, in my opinion. So there's that. So like that's in my opinion the reason why I feel like DFM will beat something like the team like Weibo Gaming. Because like Weibo Gaming, for example, like again, I think I mentioned in the video, you're having to rely on Guoker's harass, but then Guoker's harass is absolutely balls right now, you know? Which is also really funny because the guy doesn't know how to play Fire Investigator's balls. So it's really, really funny. Um, Magica, thank you. Is that Magica? Did I pronounce it right? Tell me if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm very, very glad to know it's MZK or Magica. 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 Magica's my favorite player right now at DFM. Um, I think I told the story before on stream, but when I first saw the first week of DFM playing, it was Arms Factory Peddler. The Peddler went crazy, and then I spam Peddler for a week to get to get her A badge. Truly an experience. I love, I love Magica. I love MCK. But yeah, that's also a bit of the bias for why I think DFM is gonna beat Weibo Gaming, and also Weibo Gaming is just so inconsistent. I don't really like it. I don't really like or sorry, I don't really like Weibo Gaming right now, and this match will happen tomorrow. So there is gonna be here. Is that IJL game review party? What? Oh my god. I'm glad you guys are having fun in the chat. But anyways, yeah, DFM, Weibo Gaming, these two are very close. I think Weibo Gaming genuinely has an advantage from the fact that the first matchup is DFM and Weibo Gaming. That does worry me a bit because I feel like Weibo Gaming does have a bit of home ground advantage as well as just DFM being the first time competing outside of Japan. I think this is the first time. A bit worried for them, but I really hope that they do well. Especially, actually, this is M Magica's first LAN. Um, so there's also that, but yeah, I mean, I'm a bit worried, man. Now, another thing I saw, I think it was, I'm not sure if Lucas is still on the stream. He said that AR is gonna beat DFM. And then he made a list of evidence that the reason why AR is gonna beat DFM. And that first off, that DFM almost lost to or DFM 2 won against CFY, had the easiest group in the Japanese teams. Then AR beat FT and GH. And because GH had almost won against AWG, FT won against FL twice, yada yada yada. All those other things. I mean, that's the reason why AR is gonna beat against DFM, which by the way, bull. I'll tell you why. AR is the most interesting team because I actually had this team at some point in time beating Weibo Gaming. Surprisingly, Southeast Asia Persica might actually be able to beat Persica's own team. The main reason I ended up backing out on this is because of Joker. Joker right now, character pool wise, also just player wise, doesn't feel consistent enough to rely on. Feels like she's a legitimate liability in the team right now. And I feel like as soon as teams figure that out, it's going to be really problematic. I think Momoka really showed the full extent of this team struggling against QS, and I think I also mentioned in the video that TE, DFM, and Weibo Gaming all have QS, and RC would probably have QS too. I really hope DFM does well, since it's the first time going to Koa. I too really hope. I had not been a DFM fan till the Koa qualifiers. Again, when Magica got joined the team, I was like head over heels. I'm like, yes, this is who I want to be. Because back then was like, for a moment, it was like watching, for the lack of a better way to describe it, better PP Cha. He was like, felt like better PP Cha for so long. And I'm like, dude, this guy just crazy, bro. Like, Magica is crazy. I love him. Okay, he is my favorite player. I hope I hope the best for him. Especially since this is going to be his first international tournament, and then this is going to be the first time he's playing on stage, I believe. I love it, but yeah. Anyways, Group A, there's that. There's another thing that was said about the impact X team will have on esports team. As we know it, it is not something to be laughing about. No, no, thank you. I'm gonna keep laughing about it. Okay, Group B. Lu, Lucian. Is it Lucian? Luxtian? Alex over B4U. As I said, was vibes, but I also said in the Group C prediction that first that vibes is should not be enough of a reason to be putting Omni over PRR. So I will give you some palpable reasons why I put LX above B4U. The first one is that B4U does not have Skyfall, and Skyfall was a big reason for the survivors' success during IVS. They mention it a bit on they mention it a bit on my interview with them. B4U really credits Skyfall a lot for just being really good at knowing what their opponents were going to play. That is, yeah. Peter Hunter getting through, but this Cody hasn't been doing well with his peddler. Yeah, I mean, MCK is better, bro. Magica is better. Sorry, going back. I was a Fennel fan. I still am, by the way. But DFM has been my favorite team now. Also because of Vanny. I love Vanny. Anyways, going back. Uh, B4U does not have Skyfall, and this I think objectively makes it a lot more difficult for this team to really know what Lush Tien is gonna use. Bro, I'm gonna just say Alex. What Alex is gonna use because it seems Korai has a really large character pool. And I think Aaron historically, I mean, this is in no offense to Aaron, by the way, really good coach. But Aaron historically has had some fumbles, BP wise. He hasn't had recently, actually, which is really funny. But BP wise, he almost, like, there's always something he does misread. That didn't really happen during Skyfall time there. Just absolutely predicted everything. I also think because what we saw in IVS was a meta that was very rigid. It was very predictable. You know, Goldman was the consensus round one, yada yada yada, surprisingly enough. And like, interestingly enough, Zeta was just really bad against Ivy. Even till today, Zeta struggles against Aka Ivy quite frequently, actually. So, funnily enough, like Zeta might actually lose to B4U. Like, if you want to predict, right, B4U winning against one of between Zeta and MRC, I would actually put that Zeta would lose to B4U. Specifically because of the fact that Zeta struggles against Ivy. But I'm almost certain that they probably won't be losing this time around. Definitely a lot more prep from those teams. So there's that. But this isn't about a Zeta MRC versus B4U. This is about Lucian LX versus B4U. And LX just has a really wide character pool for their hunter, and they don't have Skyfall to create the BPs for them. So that's just not going to be easy at all. Another thing, and I really want to talk about this as well, is that LX survivors are bad. Okay, and that usually is more than enough to be like, yeah, B4U is gonna win against LX. Sprinter is gonna 4K more than LX, and to be fair, Korai had a significantly less successful Cola campaign than Sprinter, which is pretty, pretty well documented. And if you literally watch it, you would see that Korai had won significantly less than Sprinter. But I think two things. First off, I think Alex has the upper advantage of not having a really good bad pick, because this makes it absolutely hard to predict as to what Alex's survivors are gonna pick. And this is kind of what I feel like is the crux of the Alex B4U argument. I think what makes it interesting, look, I think I saw this, because Alex does not run a lot of rescuers. This team doesn't like running rescuers. The funny part is, and I think I said it at the very early part of the stream, B4U does not really have a good way to punish that. B4U does not have a camp hunter. I guess wax artists, I mean, we could consider that. But then what? I mean, maybe they're like Queen Bee is not available. 18-second Hala, and I don't even think Spencer doesn't really have a proficient Hala, at least as proficient as pro players. I mean, these two are just really like it's just. I think that surprisingly enough, B4 has no legitimate way to exploit the fact that LX will not run a rescuer unless B4U has QS. But funnily enough, we never saw B4U run QS because, well, the one time that they could have, it got banned. That's kind of the fit. And Alex survivors, their compositions, unless B4U or Spencer hasn't shown the extent of his character pool, which I will assume that he really has not, Alex's really odd ban pick strategy really allows a chance for B4U to legitimately upset this team. I just don't think Alex should be picking journalists though, because they're gonna get pretty much probably if they do. But um, otherwise, I mean, they probably still will pick journalists though, because it's Alex. But it is what it is. Another thing is a lot of people underestimate Kurai as a whole. I really heard like people say like, oh, Kurai's campaign during the what do you call this? During the qualifiers wasn't good. Like they were losing against some teams. I won't tell you, and I more like I can't tell you because I don't think I'm allowed to. But I can almost guarantee you that HMT is a really good region right now. Um, and that Kurai was absolutely handing the asses of some of the best players that we know in pro play. I won't tell you how I know this. It just exists. Don't clip that. If anyone's clipping that, don't clip that. Please don't. Thank you. Um, gotta remind myself there's a Billy Clipper. But yeah, please don't clip that. Cause I'm not sure how true the information is. But yeah, I mean, I did hear that Kurai was absolutely doing really well against some really good players. As to who they are, I won't say, unfortunately. I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to, guys. All I will say is that I think people are going to be shocked once Alex starts absolutely cooking. Alex will have their Zeta moment where, Kurai runs, round one Ivy against Zeta, and Zeta crumbles, bro. Finding the apostle viewers. Yeah, I don't know why it just starts jumping from like 5 to 11 to 5 to 11. It's so funny, but yeah, I hope the guy that's clipping it don't clip that because I'm not sure how true it is. But yeah, that's what I heard recently. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream very soon. Before that, though, I'm gonna answer a bunch of things. So first off, a lot of people were asking me whether I'm gonna be streaming the Cohen matches. The answer is no. Unfortunately, I'm not part of their like partner program thingy. I think the application was just like last November, but I didn't have like the quota of subscribers. Which, by the way, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Not really. Please subscribe if you haven't. But yeah, I won't be streaming, unfortunately. This Koa. But I will promise you guys one thing, or I will try my utter best to do this. I will be making a video of what I think is my favorite match every day. That's right, daily content is back, guys. I'm going to be making a video of my favorite match in day one, which I already know is going to be DFM versus Weibo Gaming. I'm also going to make a video on second day, third day, fourth day, all of those days. Or at least I will try to. Depends, because I might get burned out very fast, but hopefully not. But yeah. I will try my utter best to make videos every day. I am actually the freest man alive because um I don't have like my university term just ended, so I'm actually free, very free. But yeah, I'm not gonna. Bro, milk his own prediction for the fourth time. Who is this new chatter, man? The new chatter is absolutely dogging on me, bro. You've been quiet for the past few months, and I like it. I like that you like it. Don't worry, I will make an updated predictions in the middle of the Koa season. That is a joke, by the way. I'm curious what makes you put Axis higher than GR. If you've spoken about it before, then you probably you did. I will get into it right now, or I'll get into it briefly, but you can just go through the active stream. The reason why, and I kind of went over this, and someone made a good argument about this, right after I finished making the video, is that Axis's Survivor, or rather Hunter core is really good. And to best explain it, I should probably go back to my Group C predictions, but I won't anymore. For Group C, I have Fennel as first. If you watched the video, you will notice, but I have Fennel as first. And my reasoning for that is because systemically, Fennel is a really good team. Hashir looks really good. PP-chan, okay, has been not super great, but I think can be really good. Survivors, not super great either, but also can be really good. I put them at first for that exact reason. Systemically, they're a really good team. Now, Axis is an interesting case because if I were to put Fennel at first without logical explanation, I feel compelled to put Axis the same because Axis right now systemically is just better than Fennel. I just think that Axis right now, hunter-wise, looks a lot better. And I think that when you're comparing Axis and GR, the main thing you have to look at is less about the hunters, because the hunters are good, don't get me wrong. It's the survivors. And it's a question of whether Axis without Tuna and instead has Monopi, and then GR with Zero, and then, City, who is a good player, but, still having to adjust, then it's a question of which team would be more consistent, which team would likely be able to win. I think Axis will just be the better team in that regard. Plus, Axis has Kakaka and Kakari, both players that can play Bonbon at a high level, which means they can absolutely exploit the fact that GR's Rescuer is their weakest link right now. Now, I didn't put well. Now, I could have just made it then that Axis was second and then GR was third, but then I put Wolves at third instead, and then Axis at first. The reason I put a Wolves at third, and I think I explained it before, is because Wolves' harasser is not good enough yet. Wolves, as soon as their survivors are back to the winning scenario, really struggles character pool wise, and I think that's the main issue of this team or of Wolves' survivors right now after losing Mr. Dual Personalities himself for 8-7. The team doesn't really have a lot of good winning opportunities anymore. They still can win, but it does require it's a lot more difficult, especially if it's a later round. That's to me how I interpret Wolves right now, and that's why I have Wolves at third, GR second, Axis first. Though during the video itself, I actually had GR Wolves Axis as well. So again, Group B, one of the hardest to predict. But yeah, I will be ending the stream now though. Once again, I'll just um what do you call this? What did I say? I will be making a video every day about my favorite match. At least I hope there's a favorite match every day. There's probably gonna be one day where it's like, yeah, all these matches were boring as hell. But I really hope that one of the matches, like I'm really expecting at least one of the matches to be very interesting every day. Um, and I'm not gonna be able to stream, but maybe I'll be able to at least give some insight. Also, guys, if you are a streamer, but like also if you're I mean, if anyone is planning to stream it, any content creator, please let me in, bro. I would love to be on the stream, bro. I would love to talk about this game. I love Koa. I love Koa. But also another thing, well, there was another thing I was gonna say. Um, what was it? I forgot. Okay, hold on. I'm not ending the stream yet. I'm gonna try to remember it. Let me think. Okay, I was gonna say something like, um, shoot, I forgot. I absolutely forgot what I was supposed to talk about. Oh no. Um, I'm pretty sure it's important, but I forgot. Um, there are okay. Well, I'm sure this is not it, but there are some video ideas right now, that are unrelated to Koa. Specifically, there is a video I think about Zeta that I want to make. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it during the downtime between playoffs and group stages. It was something that I found really interesting very recently, and so I want to talk about it. I want to make a video about it. It's a very old gameplay of Zeta Division. There's a bunch of others as well. I think there's one about AL, Alex Love. There was a bunch of other things as well. But yeah, I mean, I literally forgot what I was gonna say. I'm just kind of making things up right now, or like just remembering other things that I want to say as well. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream. If you guys aren't already on the Discord, please join the Discord. If you guys already, oh, I remember now. If you guys need a coach, hit me up. Okay, I kind of need to make fucking bro. I need money so bad. I was joking with someone recently that I wanted to coach a team for a tournament while I'm still free. So if you guys need a coach right now, hit me up, guys. I am as free as a free man can be, if that makes sense. I don't really know if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream now. Thank you guys so much for joining me once again. It's more exciting to be here, and I hope to see you guys next video, which is tomorrow. Bye bye, guys.